It's late December, but it's early in the Atlantic 10 season. I know we're 0-3 right now, but I think we have a chance to fight back and get up in the upper echelon of the league. We just got to continue to fight and continue to move forward with the Atlantic 10. But I'm excited that we get to play every single team in your league this year, it seems like. I'm really proud of the way our guys fought. I know you guys are Havoc or whatever you guys have continued to be with Will, which I think is what you continue to be. And the one thing is, when you're relentless like that, even when you feel like you're making a run like we did from 18 to 9, in the timeout, our guys said, it's just like Purdue when we beat Purdue. That's what our guys were saying. It's just like Purdue when we beat Purdue. Now we just got it. And what we did is we went on like a 15-7 run to end the game. And that's a great attitude by our team, who's a veteran team that understands. However, you guys continue to cause turnovers. You guys continue to do the things that you're so good at. And it's kind of hard to overcome that if you're not getting shots or you're not getting looks. And they did a great job game planning and preparing for our three-point shooting. We have a lot of similar styles in 3 points, in three-pointers and how you guard it. And obviously that's why it was a low three-point on both sides of the ball. But they're a very, very good team. And, if you want me to compare them to St. Louis and Dayton, it's kind of difficult because they're all different. And the way you guys play just sets you apart. And your atmosphere, as good as there is, Dayton's is phenomenal. But your band is ridiculous. And I'm telling you, it's a tough place to play. And there aren't many places like that in America, and you guys should be proud of that.
From a coaching standpoint, what did they do to limit you guys from three?
They allowed us to take as many interior shots as we'd like, and then they allowed Dallas Moore to play as much downhill and toward the rim as he wants to play. And then they were either going to let him try to finish, which he did some, or they were going to allow him to dump it off, and if that guy could catch it and finish, then that would be okay as well too. And we've been able to overcome that this year and beat some teams that have done that to us as well too. But it takes a conglomeration of guys getting those shots. And tonight, we had some pretty good looks. Here's what I think, and I might be wrong, but I've been doing this for 28 years, so I'm pretty sure this is accurate. When you have a tough night getting looks, when you do get a good look, you're almost saying to yourself, man, I finally got a good look. As opposed to, this is what I do all the time. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference between the two, and to their credit, I think that's what they caused us to kind of get into.
Coach Wade, leading up to this game, talked about just how important you are to his career. Can you just elaborate on that?
So I get a call. He's a junior in high school. And I answer the phone, and he says, hey, this is Will Wade from Franklin, Tennessee, and I'm a junior. So immediately, as an assistant, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to miss on anybody. You don't want to get whacked out. So I say, hey, let me put you on hold real quick because I'm going to switch phones and get to another phone. Well, I quickly put him on hold and started saying, has anybody heard of Will Wade from Tennessee? Who is he? Is he big? Is he, nobody knew who he was. So I go back on the phone, start, kicking it with him. I'm like, is he ever going to talk about his game or what he's about or what he does? And he said, Coach, I want to commit to you. Okay. And I said, that's great. That's awesome. It's early in the process, so I'm trying to slow play. I'm trying to figure this thing out. And he says, I want to be a manager, and one day I want to be a coach in college. And I've always wanted to come to Clemson, and I'd like to come work for you guys. And that's how it all started. I mean, he's broken piñatas at my son's birthday party. I'll tell you another great story. I get the job in 2009. My son's going to come down to shoot. One of the best shooters I ever played in college basketball. He got hit by a car. He had to get 2 really brutal surgeries on his arm. One time it healed like this, and he had to have another one. And Shaka wrote him a letter and sent him a shirt. He still has the letter on his wall. And it was one of the most Shaka things or Will Wade type of things, because that's the kind of people they are. And I sent him up here to camp. He's the only one that's ever been here before. My wife picked him up, and Richmond's beautiful. We jogged today. He's got too many hills. But Will, the one thing about Will is he's relentless. He works, and he really, really cares about people. And that's what we try to instill with him with Coach Shida, and that's kind of our mentality, who we are. But I'm really super, super proud of him. And, I obviously wanted to beat him. I'm not that proud of him. I love him, but not when it gets between the black lines. But he's done a great job he's in a tough deal now. He's in a tough deal. Because Larry Shyatt went through the same thing, if you guys remember. I mean, Rick Barnes had him rolling 3 straight NCAA tournaments, all those seniors, all those guys back, and we get the job. And he was the former assistant that helped recruit all those guys. That's tough. That's tough. But like life, pressure's pressure. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. And the more you embrace it, the better you're going to be in life.
If they do, all the teams you played this year, they've had trouble guarding 3-point line at times this year. You've been pretty upset about their ability to fight through ball screens and stuff. Did they do as good a job against you as anybody else has?
Yeah,
Limiting the look?
yeah, I thought they did a great job of making us play downhill as opposed to allowing us to pepper it, so to speak. I thought they've guarded the arc pretty well. Will might be using that just for cannon fodder, for all I know. Can you spell that one? That's a good word. Did you ever use that word before? Cannon fodder? It's pretty good. Look that one up. Google it. But I thought they've guarded the line pretty well this year. And the other thing, too, is, and you say that, their pressure, and they're like, how many deflections did they have? Like, we had like 3 wide open threes, and they just came with big hands. So the ones we normally get with that quick reversal, they got deflections. I guarantee you they had at least 3 steals off of that kind of action. And, that's a good play by them. I don't know if I answered your question or not. I'm sorry I scared you on the clap there too, by the way. I hope you got the pens on. Yeah.
And like you said, you played 3 A-10 teams now, I believe.
Yes.
Louisville.
A-10, SEC,
Yeah, some very
ACC, Big Ten.
How do you think that schedule prepares you guys for conference?
We've always played this schedule, and the reason is because we have to bring in a lot of money. And that's something you guys don't understand. And unless you've coached at this level, you don't understand what it's like. Our guys, you look at our schedule. I'm looking at this game up there. We played both of them jokers. And, it's brutal. And the other thing is, I've never thought in all my life that I would ever coach a team that was so good that everybody kept raising their level, even the higher level programs. LSU, Louisville, it's like 43-41 at the half. I never thought that would ever happen in a million years when we started this thing and we were so bad. So the schedule really prepares us for our league. But the bad thing is you never want to learn from losing. Most wins we've ever had in a non-conference. So, it's 10 games in 23 days, then 4 games in 8 days. It's brutal. $647,000. It's a lot of money. But that's the way it is at this level. You got to do that, So, and our guys embrace it. Beat Illinois, beat Purdue. You know what I mean? So they get that taste, and they play against these guys in AAU and all that kind of stuff. So you remember those bye games back in the day?
Wasn't that long ago?
Not with Capel.
With ECU.
Not with Capel.
Yeah.
He was getting bought.
Well, no, I remember. I go back to the 80s, believe it or not. So
You look great.
Yeah, but I grew up, around the program. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
All those guys. I went to Sonny Smith basketball camp, which I've never played college basketball.
Sonny Smith used to do a lot of our games. So you guys ain't bought a game in a long. You guys ain't got bought in a long time. Trust me. Anybody else? You got your Clemson colors on tonight for some reason? Is that for Will Wade? Did he give it to you?
For the game tomorrow.
He's always good with getting equipment.
I think it means something.
When did you learn to whistle like that?
I tell you 2 crazy stories. First of all, some girl was here tonight that I hadn't seen since I was a young kid. Young kid, Nancy Check. I hadn't seen her. She never even would talk to me. I was so ugly. But tonight she's calm. Seriously, I was so ugly. I used to ask girls to go out with my friends, and then I'd get a yes because I get so many no's. But she wants to talk to me before the game. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I ain't talking to you. And she's sitting with my wife, hanging out with my wife. She met my wife. There's a girl named Donna Dietz. and my brother's in the back of the room, he'll remember, I always wanted to go out with her. So I thought, don't throw rocks, because people hear it. So learn to whistle, and if you whistle, she'll come to the window, and then you can maybe, get her to come out. So I started, that's how I learned to whistle. Donna Dietz, I'll never forget it. So, my wife can whistle too. She can. She's from West Virginia. She has all her teeth, but she can whistle. Yeah, she's pretty good.
It's okay.
You guys good? Who we like tomorrow, Clemson or Oklahoma? Wow! You guys are, that's not, you guys, Clemson, Alabama, though Michigan State, because my trainer, but Alabama, we're going to play for the championship. And I think Clemson's going to go back to the Danny Ford era. I don't know if Dabo's going to get a free farm.
1980.
81.